So put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, do-do-do-do. I got you, babe, do-do-do-do. I got you, babe, do-do-do-do.
Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today.
It's cold out there every day. What is this, Miami Beach?
Not hardly, and you can expect hazardous travel later today. What with that blizzard thing?
That blizzard thing.
That blizzard thing.
Oh,
well, I have the report here. The National Weather Service is calling for a big blizzard thing. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
And you know what makes today especially interesting?
Especially cold.
Yes, especially cold. Is the question on everybody's lips.
Their chapped lips.
Yes, their chapped lips. Will Phil come out and see his shadow? Puxatawny Phil! That's right, Woodchuck Chuckers. It's Groundhog Day! Hey everybody, I'm Randy.
I'm Bobby.
And this is episode 13 of Groundcast Day.
Unlucky 13.
This watch was excruciating.
This watch was depressing. We were both pretty out of it this watch.
So wait, we'll start off with the best thing first, Bobby. How do you feel about this movie after 13 watches?
I felt bad this watch.
Yes, but tell the listener what you were telling me about this movie.
You have to remind me.
He used a strong word about this movie, folks.
I hate this movie?
I hate this movie.
I just kept saying I hate this movie throughout the watch.
over and over again.
It's not necessarily that I hate the movie, is I hate watching it every week.
No, it's not that he hates this movie or that he hates watching it every week. It's that he hates his life decisions that's led him to the point to be watching this every week with Randy.
Which was the simple matter of saying, I'll watch this every week with Randy.
My mistake was going, I have a copy of this movie. I'm down.
We should have just been like, let's watch this once. Okay.
No, we should have gone with my bit of, we record it once, and then you upload it every week for a year.
The audience would have got sick of that, of one person.
But it's a good joke. It's a good bit. And just because we have to get to the bottom of everything, and I don't know what any of this means anymore. Today is, February, March 2nd.
It's March 2nd now, 2019.
Currently 6:47 p.m. at night on a Saturday.
Trump is still in office.
Unfortunately, Trump is still in office.
In a country we don't live in, but nonetheless. And it wasn't too bad today. It was like -2 Celsius.
It's still cold outside.
It's still cold out there every day. This is not Miami Beach.
So, with that, I leave it to Bobby to lead the show. I'm going to fiddle with my phone.
Oh, he's going to play with his phone? Oh, yeah, this is a pretty shit watch this week. We were not happy. Randy gave me the DVD copy because he has a Blu-ray. I was supposed to watch it, but I did not watch it because my computer cannot play DVDs, and I have to use another computer to do that. But I did not have access to it.
Yeah, we're currently trying different things to make things more interesting. Be it just simply he watches it before he comes here, and I've watched it too. We talk about it, and then we watch another movie if we're going to choose to watch another movie, something else, or we do something else.
We're really hoping to do anything but watch this movie again.
But
I was like fixated on the fucking hideousness of Bill Murray's face. I'm now convinced he's some sort of puppet that's being manipulated by 2 to 3 people as well as a voice actor, because there's no way a human male could be that ugly. And that's that. So there you go. What else did I think of this week? Again, a couple of times I focused on...
I'm trying not to laugh at Bob. He's like, oh man, Randy was actually being serious when he said he's going to let me just keep on talking.
Rita's again, okay. Her, what's her name? Annie McDowell's facial acting, still okay. Larry really blended into the background this time. Chris Elliott, I really felt like he didn't contribute much.
I'm gonna start contributing now, because right now our one listener just shot themselves in the head so they could restart the day over again.
He really didn't contribute much to this film.
No, he didn't. So this week, folks, I bring to the table. I got to read this week the original draft.
Oh boy!
Like the spec script for Groundhog Day.
New material.
New material, and it answers some burning questions we had, or specifically Bobby had. And the one I'm going to talk about right now is the biggie, the one he brings up every watch.
Mm-hmm.
Did Phil
See his shadow?
try to escape
Oh, yeah.
Puxatawny
Oh,
and
shit!
any other things?
Yeah.
So, for anybody who's been following along and watching this film, you realize that we only see him attempt to escape once.
On the first day.
On the first day. And then we never see it again.
Nope.
In the original version of the script, well, there are differences between the script and the final film with how Ramis rewriting it, yada, yada, yada. But this material can be spread out over the course of the remaining... how many episodes do we have left? 49?
Episode 13.
49
so
episodes
50,
left?
52 minus 13.
40, no,
That's
sorry,
that's
39 episodes?
42, 39 episodes.
39
to go.
episodes left. So I'll be rereading the script again and then start actually taking notes. But I'm going to start... Yeah, so you want the answer, Bobby?
Please.
In the script, he's tries on multiple occasions. He leaves at different times during the day. He tries different ways out, and no matter what happens, he hits, basically hits a wall where it's like, oh, wait, this giant blizzard thing has moved in, and you can't escape. And then he starts getting more elaborate, where he heads out in a truck, and then when he hits the blizzard, he stops the truck, and he jumps out onto a... he drops the back of the truck, and he drops a skidoo, and then he starts skidooing over everything, but then he will eventually run out of gas because it's too far away. And then there's another point where he leaves, he robs the bank, and then first thing in the day, and then he goes and he steals an airplane, and figured out, at the furthest distance he can travel in the circle in the 24-hour period, and he gets all the way back to Pittsburgh, and he visits his mother. And it's apparently something he did a lot because he hates visiting his mother by a certain point because it's always the same old things because so lonely. So yes, he does attempt to, at least in one version, in one timeline, in the parallel universes of Phil, he does try to leave Puxatawny.
But he always wakes back up there.
But he always wakes back up there.
And you know why he always visits his mother? Because, as Rita says, she wants a man who loves his mother.
Well, in that version of the script, no. She doesn't really say anything. She's kind of very much a different character at that point.
Oh, well. Maybe that's how it evolved.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat little evolution.
Get me out of this fucking town.
Poor guy.
Yeah, that's
so, yeah, this week, it's just a kind of a crappy watch. It's like we've been mining it for everything.
The mine's running a little dry, guys, and it's only episode 13.
This week... I really like this movie. I really enjoy this movie.
I don't know how he does this.
I still do at this point, but this week it was starting to irritate me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt slower than it has been, but last week it felt really fast. So I guess there has to be some change in that to the way reality or the elasticity of my brain is going here, that the movie has to be either slow or fast. And I wanted to stop halfway through today. I couldn't take it today. I don't want to do this today.
No, it's another cold March day.
Yep.
We're thinking, it's only gonna be a couple of weeks though, because by April it's gonna be nice and warm. So
it's like I'm hoping that it's like you're gonna get even worse vocal quality as it's just like he shows up here and we start walking around with my cell phone and we record over that while we're outside in the air and
Randy
in the sun.
Randy lives next to a bike path, so when it warms up, we can take a romantic gay stroll down the bike path by the river.
You mean after watching our romantic comedy that we have a set date for every week?
Our date day, and then we can just hold hands and walk down the fucking bike path
while we sing "Put Your Little Hand in Mine." Mm-hmm. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't
climb. And then swing them back and forth and go like, and what is it? We're off to see the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
We can skip down, and we can skip down the paved little bike path.
So I'll ask you the big question here, Bobby. Will you marry me? No. I was like, will you marry me? But
it is legal now.
No, actually, I was going to say
only if you've got benefits.
It's one that you've been. Wait.
Weeks. Only if you've got benefits. No, he's got no benefits.
No, what I was trying to ask you was the question you've been asking me for weeks, and then we always forget to bring up on the podcast.
Yep.
Having watched this film as many times as we've had at this point, what would you do? To make the film better?
Oh, we never got to that.
You've brought it up in conversation.
I brought it up,
but we haven't talked about it. on the podcast, and I've been pocketing it for such a time as this when we're both
a desperate time.
A desperate time
Really
when we need to fill time.
We really need some content.
So, go ahead, Bobby. Talk for 10 minutes on this. How would you improve this film?
Oh man, I wish you told me this earlier. I would have written something down.
I just wanted to drop this on you. I wanted to see your reaction.
Well,
let's take this from the beginning.
First of all, yeah.
Literally, let's take this from the beginning. Let's take this scene by scene. How would you improve the film? How it started? What would you do to
First
change
of all, the first thing we want to say is we hate the beginning.
It's like we understand it serves a purpose. We understand that the typical movie-going audience isn't that bright, and that we have to spell everything out and put all the character, set it in stone right off the bat, so that you know who everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
And that film is a different medium from stage or from television.
Mm-hmm.
But that opening at the...
We feel like maybe because we watched it so many times that we feel like because we watched it so many times that the two openings are too much.
Yeah, especially when we found out that one was tacked on at the end for exactly for the reasons I was giving. It was like, oh, we need to give some more character background. We can't just start in the van heading to Puxatawny. We need to give you some... idea of their personality.
We need you to show you the studio. And
he's cranky. She's charming and goofy, and Larry looks like a 5-year-old getting ready to give his line.
Yeah, I would have cut all that shit out. We don't need that. I would have had more on the first day.
Like you would have dragged it out more on the first day?
I would have dragged out the February 1st more so we could get more of their interactions, because we got very little of it. And as we've mentioned before, from Larry and Rita's perspective, them jumping from like, what was Phil's line? I'm trying to remember Phil's line now, but he's just like, "Oh, well, I wouldn't live in that flea bag hotel. I got you and she says, I got you a place at the bed and breakfast."
Yeah, and then he basically propositions her in the jerkiest fashion.
He's like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "Oh, you're a great producer. Oh, I do anything for you. How about you realign my pelvis within reason?" And then he jumps in the car and he says something else, and Larry says prima donnas.
Yeah, she says something to him, and Larry goes, prima donnas.
But from their perspective, I said, then on the last day, all they do is jump right to Phil's. And Chekhov said about winter speech, which to them makes no sense. So I would have had that first day, had a lot more establishing stuff set up, so that throughout the movie you could be like, oh, okay, he just solved that. Oh, okay, he just solved that part.
No, because I don't think it really matters that first day. Just get us to the point here, give us the briefest explanation of what Puxatawny is, and then
to me,
that's it.
Well, to me, I'm gonna have to disagree. To me, you have to set up we have to set up all the character flaws that need to be corrected throughout the movie.
But we see all his character flaws being corrected throughout the movie.
Not really.
We see how much of a jerk he is. We see how manipulative he is. We see that his...
Well, not on day one.
She even pointed out... No, not on day one, but as the movie progresses, we see all these things. She says them. She calls with the poem there where he basically calls her the wretch. Yeah, basically says that he's conceited, self-centered, petty.
But that's been altered by the fact that he now thinks he's invincible.
Yeah, partially, but he was almost always that. Because remember, he's asking her this now, and she's only really known him for a day.
Yeah.
That's how she sees him after only a day. Is that
after only just seeing him for a day and then seeing him eat a big buffet the next morning.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, this is how you are. You're not a good person."
Yeah. I guess you're right.
So it's like, but how it's the original his spec script literally begins in the middle of the action. It begins that day, the third or fourth day after he realizes he can get away with anything. Mm-hmm. In the movie is basically how the spec script originally
I feel
started.
like the audience have been
but
too
the
lost.
spec script starts a year after this has been going on.
I feel like the audience would have been lost.
You think they would have been lost if they just jumped into the middle of all things and he started with with literally just what? You don't think they would be drawn into them, like what he's doing? It literally starts with, "Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today. It's cold out there every day." DDG laughs. Phil Mock laughs at exactly the same time. It's just him redoing that scene over with them as he wakes up.
No, the audience would have been confused, man.
And then
this is 93. You gotta remember, this is 93.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah,
no way
true.
there's no way people are following that shit.
Because like I said, it's more stagey.
You're looking
picking
at
it
this
up
from
like
a
that.
2019 mindset when you've already seen things involving time warps and shit.
I'm looking at this from a liberal arts perspective and a
Hey,
literary.
hey, you never got that degree.
No, I know I got my deck in liberal arts.
Oh, okay.
I just never finished my
Bachelor's.
bachelor's in English literature. Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, my specialization.
Oh, a specialization. How many credits was that?
90.
Oh, I finished 90 credits. Hey,
Yeah.
wait a second. I thought a specialization was supposed to be like 120 credits.
No, it's in English literature. It's only 90.
Well, then.
Yeah.
Anyway, and now you know where his pretentious analyses come
Now,
from.
now you know where all my weird riffing comes from for how I do the literary analysis.
Yeah. So the next thing, what else did this movie need? If I was gonna rewrite it.
Well, what did this movie not need? Larry.
No, I'm gonna go the opposite way. This movie needed more Larry. We needed to know more about him.
Are you just saying that because we've watched the movie 13 times and you want to know more about Larry? Does he really serve any purpose to the plot?
Like, I think he should have served a purpose to the plot as a friend of Phil, at least.
Like you think that because they've been colleagues and stop doing that, it's picking up every time you click it.
Shit.
I don't care if you hear me chastising him, people. But
Larry.
But you think they should have shown him as like them being colleagues, that they've worked together before, and that they're
Yeah,
kind
because
of friends?
he had to, because the whole movie, again, and as Harold Ramis says, the one main for all this movie is that Phil does improve as a person, but at the end of the movie, he still needs Rita as his love interest. But again, I'm like, okay, if you want to say it's a romantic comedy, fine, that's not necessarily a flaw, but again, at the end of every single watch, we always realize that he hasn't built much of a relationship with Larry, and Larry's had very little character development, and Larry doesn't really get a love interest either because Nancy turns him down and he ends up with the old lady as a gag.
Yeah, he's just a joke. He's literally there as comedy relief, and it's no offense to Chris Edgerly, is that his name?
I don't know.
Whatever his name is. Yeah, is that it's not really funny. It might just be the script. It might just be simply like, okay, this is the audience we're aiming for, so nothing.
In the original script, did Larry have a bigger plot?
Nope.
No.
Like there was a lot of characters, but not a lot of characterization in the original script. It was a lot of Phil got the majority of the characterization.
I would have liked to just see Phil and Larry hang out a bit and them talk about stuff, and then like him become like, yeah, Larry, you're a good friend, and like and go down that friendship line too, the friendship line and the romance line with Rita.
No, just keeping in mind that if they had done that, the movie we were watching right now would be closer to 2 hours than it was now.
Oh, they could have cut out some shit though.
But then what would you cut? That's the question. Is what other than the opening?
Oh, there was some
And the opening's not
garbage.
that long.
I felt like the whole save scumming part with Rita could have been redone. Like that was the only part of the movie he does that really.
Yeah, they're trying to make a point that it's harder for Bill to do it than with, because it's like if you show how they did it, they showed it 3 times basically. They showed it. This is him with Nancy, how easy that was. This
Yep.
was him with
Easy Nancy, we call her.
this is him with the movie date.
Easy date, we call her.
Another easy date, and then the third time we see him trying to date somebody, it is Rita, and it's an extreme difficulty.
We'll call her Rita the Prude, yeah.
And it's because it's a whole different thing for that. It's like she doesn't want what they want, and she has something
Earl
very
Randy,
particular.
she's got a fucking bachelor's degree in 18th century French poetry. She knows.
Yeah.
She knows a little thing or two about trickery. She's not so easily fooled. And she's a producer.
Yeah.
She's clearly the boss of this. If it was a Japanese dating sim.
So that's why I was just like, I don't know what you would cut from there. It's like what, one less repetition of the day,
I would cut
one
up
less
most
slap,
of
but
the
the slap
repetitions.
is almost like a rake gag. But even though that's later in Simpsons' lifetime than this, where it just the slap gets funnier as the more slaps you have, the more slaps that she does to him gets funnier.
Because
and funnier.
as we know, female versus male violence is always funny.
And it just, like I said, I don't know what you would cut out of that scene. It's because it's a very slow build. It's one of the...
I would have also added in like more Debbie and Fred, because it kind of seems like they appear right at the end.
I think you could have cut them out completely.
Randy wants to cut them out of the movie altogether. Now we've got.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a lot of things.
Now we're diverging.
It's like a lot of the things at the end. It's just simply
Yeah.
okay. This is how he knows the people in town. We get it, and a lot of them are easy. And then the Debbie and Fred thing is just a callback to the second day where she starts to understand him. And my computer fell asleep. Starts to understand him, and he goes, "No, I'm a god. So this is so and so. Oh, this is Debbie and Fred Kleiser." And that picked up onto Mike too. Thank you very much, Bobby. I'm not doing any edits for this.
No.
So it's like I said, there's little things you can cut, but I find the movie is too tight.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted more character development with some of the more of the background characters.
But I don't think that's the point of the film. I think the film is just simply
No, we want to see how Phil. We want to see how Phil impacts the lives of others. Like we should have seen a scene of like their relationship failing, and then like him. Then we see how when he intervenes, they get married at the end.
Yeah, that's the only thing there for that. I could see them have that would have been an interesting thing to watch.
And again,
but you're not. It's like we don't need to see them how he's impacting other people's lives because at the end of the day, most of these people's lives are going to be back to square one.
Me and you have a fundamental difference of ideas on what this Groundhog's Day universe entails. Then you want to cut shit, I want to add shit.
No, it's like looking at it, it's like the movie's a very tight movie for what it is.
An hour 40. Well,
an hour and 40 minutes. And that's a fairly tight movie for a studio movie. And you want to add characterization that's going to be immediately wiped away the following day when he
It's not going to be wiped away because at the final day, it all comes together.
But he doesn't necessarily do all those things on the final day.
We have to see an example. But on the final day, he should do all those things. That should be the perfect day. When he finally gets that perfect playthrough, 100%.
This isn't Majora's Mask trying to get the 100%.
Yes, it is.
This isn't Termina. This isn't that creepy moon flying into the thing. And with that thing, we're done.
Oh, it's already over?
Yeah.
Also, Gus and Ralph, he has to save them from dying in a car crash because they're drunk.
Deleted scene. I'm telling you, the bowling alley. Just they didn't want to keep bringing up.
Gotta save Gus and Ralph. Gotta save Deb and Fred's marriage.
So I'm Bobby. That's Randy. And,
yeah. Bye. I'm Randy.